Hello everyone. So today we're going to be learning laws of indices. Remember we did the last class, the basic law of indices. So we are doing other laws of indices. Now the fourth one here is x raised to power negative a. And anything raised to power minus means 1 over x raised to power a. So that this negative here stands for 1 over. Then you write your x raised to power a. Now, for example, you have 10 raised to power negative 6. So this will give you 1 over 10 raised to power 6. That's because you have a negative, it's this place represents 1 over. Then you write your 10 raised to power 6 here. Then the other example means 5 over 4 raised to power negative 2. Now, the answer is actually 4 over 5 raised to power 2. Now, how do we get this? Because of this minus, you tend to swap your 5 and 4. I will show you how this is being derived as 4 over 5, but the easiest way to go about it is just to swap 5 and 4. This terminates your negative, then you write your 2. Let me show you how the working is. You have it as 5 over 4 raised to power negative 2. So what it means is that you write it as 1 over 5 over 4 in bracket raised to power 2. Are you seeing it? What this means inside the bracket, it means 1 divided by 5 over 4 in bracket raised to power 2. Then you have it as in bracket 1, because this is division, you multiply as 1 times 4 over 5 raised to power 2. And when you multiply 1 times 4 over 5, it becomes 4 over 5 in brackets raised to power 2. And this is what you have here. So for you not to go through this process, when you have it in fraction form, you tend to just swap it. Your 5 comes downward as your denominator, and your 4, which is your denominator here, becomes 4. It comes here as your numerator, then raised to power 2. So that's it for this number 4 law of indices. All right, so moving to the fifth law of indices, which is number 5, x raised to power a in brackets raised to power b. Now, you see here that we have 2 powers. Now, it's easier. This is a multiplication. So you tend to multiply a times b. So I have it as x raised to power a b. Are you seeing it here? For example, you have 2 raised to power 5 in brackets raised to power 2. So this will give me 2 raised to power. You times this power as 5 times 2. And my answer becomes 2 raised to power 10. Then you move to the other example. Let me give you another one. 3 raised to power 4 raised to power negative 2. This, you have a negative power here. So what you do here is to multiply this power. You write down your base first. My base is 3. Then you multiply the power as 4 times negative 2. And I have it as 3 raised to power negative 8. Remember, we just learned from the fourth law of indices that when you have a negative, you write it as 1 over. So therefore, it becomes 1 over 3 raised to power 8. So this becomes our answer. All right, so moving down to the sixth law of indices. Now, for the sixth law of indices, we have x raised to power 1 over a equals to. Now, this is your power is in the form of fraction. There you have 1 as a numerator and your a as a denominator. So what will be the answer to this? Your x here is the base. To have this, write it as x, square root of x. Then outside this square root, you have a. So this is how to write the sixth law of indices. For this, your denominator here is what you bring outside here. For example, you have 6 raised to power 1 over 3, for example. So you write your square root of 6 first. Then this, your denominator, which is 3, you write it here as cube root. So this is cube root of 6. Let me give you one more example. You have um, 25 raised power 1 over 2. That's half. So write it as square root of 25. You can put down your 2 here or you remove the 2. Why? Because this is actually a square root and square root is half of this. So either you put down your 2 here or you can decide to remove the 2. But for any other numbers like 3, 4, 5, 6, you tend to write down the value here. Since we are learning, I will decide to put my 2 here. So this is square root of what? 25. This is cube root of what? 6. So this is it here. So we've done the basic law and we've done the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth law of indices. So just go home, practice more, then I'll bring out a next video or solve more questions together. Have a great day. Bye.